dit is de zeiltoer. Zeil. Zeil. Was de boot is de zeil. Nee, maar dat moet de zeiltoer.
I am finally in Leiden. It took a long time to get here, but I'm so happy to be in this beautiful city 30 minutes away from Amsterdam, and we are going to explore today. We're starting off on the canal tour. I'm going to be a bit silent for the next 10 minutes, and then we're going to walk around and I'll tell you a little bit about the history. I have a handy guidebook with me, and there's some really cool secrets in this city, so hopefully we will bump into it, we will visit it, and maybe catch even the museum. I'm Ariel, this is Urbanist. Let me know where you're watching from, and let's go visit in Leiden. So this is a protected monument by the Dutch government, and it's actually a urinal. Hopefully we will pass by it a little bit later.
Sailing on the so-called Rembrandt, for the man of standing, and the higher the building, how richer you are. For old people. In the middle of the house there was a white line. On the side for the women, on the left side for the men. And people don't cross the line. Because because they have to move. Now it is a student home, and I don't know if they knew the rules.
How deep are the canals?
Exactly.
How deep are the canals?
2-3 meters.
Oh, it's not that much.
Not everywhere.
Not everywhere, yeah. Is it even more shallow in other places? Yeah. Wow. And does the water level rise a lot or go down a lot?
So the Rhine is bent in Cafe,
Oh,
and therefore we have no influence at the top.
oh, I see. Oh, wow.
So a little bit, but not like Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And a lot influence.
Okay, so it's not too much.
An open connection with the sea.
Yeah.
Here the Rhine.
No, it's dammed. Oh, I see. Wow. So you can see right there that the water line is pretty much stable because the Rhine is dammed. Not because it did something wrong, but dammed because there's actual fortification preventing the water flow or controlling the water flow.
is the place of the bridge. It is the only bridge in the room because the corn has to be dry. The quality of the corn.
So there's 3 arcades. The 2 side ones are for smaller boats, and the middle one is for the larger trading boats.
Inside the city hall, totally destroyed by burning of 1907, rebuilt after the Second World War, and now renovated.
The oldest bridge in Leiden.
On the right side of number 4, you see the smallest house of Leiden. Now we enter the Bottle Square, where the old and the new Rhine come together. And there also stands the wave building on that side. You see where the goods were weighted. And here the boats came into this building. The goods were weighted and then divided on smaller boats. There's now a restaurant. It has to be closed twice a year. Once for Santa Claus and 2 on the 3rd of October. Because here is the herring and white bread for every citizen.
Free
For free, yes.
in Holland.
Yes.
Okay.
But you have to clean the fish on your own.
Ah, I knew there must be some counterpart on that.
Prima.
it's called the device is called a gimbal,
Yes.
and this is the DJI Osmo Mobile 5. It's long.
Okay.
Osmo.
Osmo.
OSMO. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's very, very good. It's one
I
of the best.
see that because when you move, the phone is stable.
It
doesn't
stays
move.
stable. Yeah, that's why I do it, so I can do long videos and not be shaky.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's one that actually extends over here, so you can
Yes.
actually use it as a selfie stick.
I just bought one, but not that one, and I was saying to myself, mine must not be that good.
Yeah.
Zo.
Thank you so much. Great tour. Love it.
Okay.
Have a great day. So this was the Leiden Redigi. I don't know how to pronounce that. Canal tours. I'll show you where it's located. Here are the prices. It was amazing. Thank you again. Yeah, very good overview. Yeah, definitely will. Have a good day. So here's where you buy your tickets. Yeah, this is where you buy your tickets. It's a really good service. I enjoyed it. The guy told us a bit of history. Not too in-depth, kind of light. It was cool because you can ask him questions. He is proficient in English, of course. And it goes on basically every hour. Only until 1600, which is 4 p.m. And then they seem to have one that's a little bit later for their shuttle service. It's been a long time coming. I am finally in Leiden. I've been waiting for this moment my entire life to be here in Leiden. And I found out that I don't need to go to an ashram or to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro or to Kathmandu or to the Tibetan monasteries along the Himalayas, nor even the Vatican City. I just had to take a train 30 minutes from Amsterdam to be in Leiden. It is a wonderful feeling, I can tell you that. Pretty much feels like Amsterdam, but just a bit more calmer, a little bit more at ease. So it's nice to be in Leiden. Let me know if you've ever been in Leiden before. All right, let's explore this beautiful city 30 minutes away from Amsterdam. Chris says, is this a date trip? Yeah, it is. Martin, thank you so much for recommending people to press that like button. Martin is tuning in from nearby. Martin is a local Dutch urbanist. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thomas says, keep on exploring, Ariel. You're 100 miles away from my home. Oh, cool. That means I'm pretty close in global standards. Donald says, thank you for enlightening us about this beautiful city. Yes, today I shall enlighten you about Leiden. You know who else was in Leiden? Rembrandt. This is the hometown of one of the most famous painters in the entire world. Up there with Caravaggio or Leonardo da Vinci. Let me know other famous painters, but he's up there in all the iconic painters around the world. He's famous, of course, for painting The Night Watch, which is probably his most famous painting. He's also, unfortunately, famous for having one of his paintings stolen in the Boston Museum, the Elizabeth Gardner Stewart Museum, which I covered. Chris says, I love this place. I'm so glad you do, Chris. Thank you so much for tuning in. Chris, you are very well traveled. So to give you a sense of where we are located, this is where we are in the Netherlands. We are closer to the city of Rotterdam than we are to Amsterdam. Cities here are all very close to each other. Almost the entire Netherlands, or at least the North Holland, South Holland, which are the big cities that people really know, they're all accessible about 30 minutes away from each other. So here we can even continue on to Den Haag, which is The Hague, or Rotterdam, or a few other major cities as well. And of course, this is the birthplace of Rembrandt, right here. The man, the legend. He was born in the early 1600s. Lived a pretty long life and had a very long career. He would end up doing lots and lots of self-portraits. This is one in his later age. Well, one that he would have done while he was here would probably be this one. Let me pop it up right here. He was starting to play with light and shadow back then, inspired by those Italian painters. Later on, he would collect a lot of those Italian painters and other famous painters around Europe in his own private collection when he moved over to Amsterdam. And I mentioned that one painting of his was stolen, or a few paintings of his were stolen from the Boston Elizabeth Stewart Gardner Museum, which I actually covered in a live video and also covered in a few short videos. And it was his only seascape, which is gorgeous. I today took a better look of that painting with this image, and I thought to myself, I am so damn jealous of whoever somehow has that painting. Someone illegally has that painting somewhere. I'm not sure where. It could be a house, it could be a basement, it could be some secret vault of some billionaire from a foreign country. I don't know who has that painting, but I'm very jealous because that is a cool painting. That would be just magnificent to see in person. Let me know, who do you speculate has that painting, and how many paintings did they steal? They stole a handful of paintings of Rembrandt at that museum. So let me know, where do you think that painting is located? That would be ironic if it's like right here in Leiden. Peggy says, shh, it's not with me. Here we're at the main square. And the hordes of bicycles. Look how many. Bicycles galore. Donald says, I think Ariel has the painting, but he's trying to throw us off track. Yeah. Maybe, Donald, maybe. All right, let's wander around. I have a guide with me. Let me pop it out. So I have a guide with me. and we'll learn a little bit of history. There's a lot of history here, actually, and it's well documented. It's the city that I've seen so far in the Netherlands with a very well documented history, at least in English language, that I was able to find. So, let me show you a map of Leiden. This is the map of Leiden, right here. This is where you get in Leiden. So the canal tour took us all around the canal, but you only saw a quarter of it. So you saw it only, I think, around this portion, around here. And this is the entire Leiden. Leiden was the very tip of the Roman Empire in this area of the lowland countries, being the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. The Rhine was the dividing point right over here of the Romans. Romans owned one side, they called the other side the barbarians. So there is actually a Roman fortification outside the map. It's a bit further out from the city, but within biking distance. And there is a fortification right here, because this is actually an artificial hill. This is all below sea level, but they built an artificial hill in order to make it seem like it was fortified. It wasn't too successful, unfortunately. And then here I have a walking guide, which is very useful. The Rembrandt route. So we're going to use that to learn a little bit. David asks, are you going to the fortifications? I'm going to do my best to do the fortifications. We're going to attempt to find it. Ida says, thank you so much for showing us the map. And Susie says, Rembrandt was a hipster with that hair. So right now we should be at the Beast Market. The Beast Market. Ooh. It's because here is where they sold the livestock for many centuries, up until the year 2000, when there was unfortunately, a epidemic of hand and foot disease, which affected a lot of the livestock and was starting to spread over to humans. It came shortly after the scare of mad cow disease, so the livestock market stopped around the early 2000s. But this is where you would hear constant mooing, baaing, oinking, and many other sounds from all those farm animals. Davis says, why do kids scream like that all around the world? I have no idea. That's a good question. I think it's something innately human. This is a cool movie theater, Lido. Is this far from the Hague? Chris, yeah, we are only, I think, about 10 to 15 minute train ride away from The Hague. I think it's even biking distance to The Hague. So yeah, we're close. Sabi says, I didn't know the Rhine was floating through Leiden. Me too. I mean, the more you know. Europe is very connected. That's why there was so much battles and different countries and ethnicities all around here in Europe. It's because of all those interconnected waterways that are even more prevalent than other parts of the world, where you see a little bit more homogeneousness. Say like in Central Asia, you have countries that are much bigger, or even China, the countries are way, way bigger. Nicole says, Leiden in German means to suffer. Oh no. Soldier says, can you go to Italy? Like right now? Soldier, so the next train to Italy is, it'll take me maybe like 10 hours to get there by train. You can watch my videos from last year if you want to learn about Italy. I won't be covering Italy this trip, I'll tell you that. And nor Greece. I would love to go back to those countries, definitely, but not for this trip. So refer to the videos from last year. It's in all one playlist, and there's a lot. Hey, Barra says, Guten Morgen. Bear says, thank you for the continued live streams this summer. My pleasure. Let's go on this main street. It looks cool. Circa 15 minutes train between Leiden and The Hague. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for letting us know, Mika. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for looking into it. Ron says, if you choose to show The Hague, can you avoid the International Criminal Court? I'll do my best. Oh, deli pies and coffee. What is this? Wow. Davis says the beach is only 1 hour away. Really? It's that close? By bike? By car? Or by walking? Do let me know. They're very, very different things. I've noticed that here in the US, when someone says oh, it's only an hour away, they mean by car. In Europe, when they say it's only an hour away, usually they mean by train. But here, a lot of people, when they say it's an hour away, they mean by bike. Chris says, I'm envious of your travels. Oh, I'm so glad. I mean, not glad, but I'm glad you're enjoying them. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate that. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos. Zen says you can actually take a train to the beach. Oh, cool. Thank you. Ooh, an army surplus store in this historic building. I love all the boutiques in the Netherlands. Lots of good shopping opportunities. Zen says it's a tram. Oh, cool. Awesome. Chris and another $5 super chat. Oh, thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate you. Hey, M4. Nice to see you here. Thank you so much for tuning on Twitch. Lily pads, find a frog. Oh yeah, there's a lot of cool things here to do. Morgan is sending 2 Canadians over. Thank you so much. The Canadians help free a lot of these cities in the Netherlands from the German occupation. So it's cool that you're sending more Canadians across the pond over here to the Netherlands. Thank you. Davis says, that view of Leiden is in the summertime. Wait until you see the fall. Yeah, you know, I'm a bit remiss that I did not come here during late spring, because taking the train ride from Amsterdam to here, Leiden, you end up seeing many tulip fields. They are all pretty light green or light brown color, so you don't see color. You don't see the flowers bloomed. But I could just imagine taking that train ride on a late spring day. Oof. Pat says, beautiful little town. Oh yes. Do you know that Albert Einstein was a teacher for the University of Leiden? Yes, yes, he was. He was a guest lecturer. So he was on their payroll. He would come a few times a year to give lectures at the University of Leiden. He would stay with a fellow scientist a little bit further south in the city. David says you need to go for King's Day. Ooh, what's up in King's Day? Gary is sending over 4 Brits to join in to come to Leiden. Thank you so much, Gary, for the £4. I appreciate that. Morgan says every shop is filled with personality. Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's a lot of personality in these shops. It's really awesome. Morgan says it's so beautiful. Every shop is filled with personality. Yeah, Morgan, that's what I love. The streets are so clean. You can Leiden, yeah. They're so clean that you can lie. Yeah, you can lay on them, basically. Yeah. So this is one of the older cities too, in the entire Netherlands. So this is, luckily we are popping up with our first glimpse of the poetry that's written on various walls across the city. Hopefully we'll find the Shakespeare one because I think that one's in English. This one appears to be in Dutch. And this one's by Hans Leiden. Susie says not a lot of typical chain stores. While there are a few, yeah, it's not brim wall to wall chain stores like US main streets. No, here you actually see independent boutiques. You see a lot of independent food stores, cheese shops.
Yes.
Hi.
Dan wordt het 6 uur, 9 euro en 10.
David says the Netherlands values small businesses. I can see that. Yeah, there's a very strong entrepreneurial spirit. And businesses help each other because I've already been to a few food places where they're shared by different businesses. During the day, they're selling breakfast by one business, and then during night, it turns to a different business by a different owner selling different type of food. Really interesting. I had to mute. That guy was playing the cover of a very famous song. So Ron earlier asked, why are the windows so big? I'm trying to find the answer for that, but I'm gathering that one of the main reasons is because a lot of these houses were built as also warehouses, as places of business. So they were not just merely residential, they were commercial, especially on the first floor, but sometimes on the second floor too. And they were used as storage. So first floor would be the business, second floor would be storage, third floor is where they actually would live and beyond. So they would actually store stuff up there, and they would need these huge windows to bring in the stuff by pulley. Oh, here we have a church. David says big windows allow daylight to flood the apartment. Yes. So thank you so much. Yeah, definitely probably also one of the main reasons. Can you feel the warmth of the people? Says Morgan. Yeah, it is a very friendly country. I've been spoiled by countries are far warmer in terms of the people. So if you are not used to those other countries like Ireland, Mexico, those two primary countries south of Italy, then yeah, you'll find this very warm. But it's not as warm as those other countries. Neptune, thank you so much for the super chat. It says enjoy a Glosch beer, one of the best Dutch beers out there, not well known. A Grosch. I will look into it. Grosch. Thank you so much. Awesome. Love you. That was a beautiful church. Interesting that's gated off. That's very interesting. Oh, look what we have here. We have Dunkin'. Sometimes I feel like I'm in Boston, just for all the Dunkin' Donuts I see. All right, let's see where the Botanical Garden is. Oh, cool. Alun says, if you want good beer, just go to Belgium. I've heard legends of Belgian beer. I tried one Belgian beer here when I was in Utrecht, and wow, that was a just mind-blowing beer. Are there shawarma houses here? Says Evan. Yeah, you'll see a lot of shawarma here. I'm not sure. I don't know about the quality. I've only had one shawarma so far. It was pretty mediocre. I had it in the center of Amsterdam. I may need to try a few more. They don't seem like really good quality places. They seem more like fast food. David says, if you feel like you're in Boston, yeah, it does feel like Boston. Boston has a lot of similarities. It also has a lot of similarities right now with Leiden, because Leiden is basically the Harvard of the Netherlands, or the Oxford of the Netherlands, both in how it looks and also its fame with its university. So this is also known as the City of Discoveries. And ooh, we have 1,200 stars from Lorraine, Tracy, and Nancy. Thank you so much, Lorraine, Tracy, and Nancy. I appreciate that. That's so kind of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Ooh, I'm feeling hungry. Someone mentioned that there was a waffle stand. I haven't seen it yet. So this is one of the older manufacturing buildings that boat skipper mentioned. Martin says you can ask people the way. The residents of Leiden know their. Yeah, Martin, indeed I can. I've been a little bit traumatized by Sweden. But it's nice to be in a country where it's okay to ask people for directions. Diane, thank you so much for the stars. I appreciate you. I like this. Imagine your business here. This is a very nice sign. Feels very welcoming, as opposed to call some random realtor because this costs $30,000 a month, as you would say in New York. Toilet brush salesman says, can you tell it's a student city? I don't think you'll be able to tell it's a student city at this particular time of year. A lot of students are off. I assume there's summer classes, but not as the high amount there would be during the fall and springtime. So I think if you want to see the more lively student scene, you have to go during that time of year. Same as hanging out in NYU or Harvard and in Boston or any college town. Chris says, I love the chill bike culture. No spandex, no helmets, no speed. Yeah, it is very chill. Oh, they actually stopped. Oh. I gotta remove my sunglasses because it's getting pretty cloudy. Barry says there's also a research university of applied sciences and a senior secondary vocational training institution with more than 32,000 students. And Miss Fancy says you're close to City Hall. Oh, that's good. Yeah. We're wandering, so no particular direction. But it's good. I want to show you first the Botanical Garden because I think that closes pretty early. So David says Eindhoven is the technological city, home of Philips. Yeah, Philips was such a big deal, especially in the 70s and 80s. They innovated the first game system. They innovated the first TV, the first portable music player, even before Sony. Yeah, Philips. I just realized that they are indeed a Dutch company. Mohammed says, do you prepare information about the visit? It really depends. I don't have any specific science behind what places I choose to prepare in and what places I don't. It depends on the city, depends on what I read, depends on my interest level. It's a New Yorker illustration, very famous one. Beautiful. Neptunester says, Philips is a Belgian company? No, it's supposed to be Netherlands. Wow. The garden is open until 1800, says Miss Fancy. Oh, that's good to hear. Let's go towards the church then. Wow, this is beautiful. I love the houses. I love this Dutch style of architecture, especially for neighborhoods. Isabel says, this reminds me of the Village in NYC. Yeah, I talked about that yesterday. Greenwich Village, the reason it looks the way it does is because the 1811, when they made the street grid system, they decided not to grid the West Village. The West Village followed the same type of street system that the Dutch used in New Amsterdam times. And before then, the Lenape Native Americans. So that's why it feels like the same type of neighborhood. Aside from that, the architecture might not align because there's not architecture there from Dutch times, but I would have no doubt that the British and then later Americans, New Yorkers, were inspired by those earlier Dutch designs. Wow. Look at this church. So here we have the coat of arms for Leiden. 2 keys, because the first church to be built here was St. Peter's, which we are at right now. There we go. St. Peter's. Peter's Kirk in Leiden. That's cool. Let's go inside. Hey, David says, yeah, the windows are massive. Glass must be cheaper in Europe. Definitely cheaper in the Netherlands. Yeah, judging by these glasses. Huge. I think in New York we need to get inspired by this. Not build glass condos, because those kind of get boring. Glassy condos. They lack individual personality for most of the time in New York City. I think we should adopt building brick style buildings with big windows like these ones. Tamo says Peter's Kirk, very famous. Yes, we're about to walk in to Peter's Kirk. Hopefully it's open. There seems going to be a food festival tomorrow. No, came here a day too early. No, why? Kay says, wasn't there taxes on houses that had glass windows at one time? I don't know about the taxes here with windows. I do know that the taxes were involved in the width of the building, how big the building was, but tall didn't matter. So in order to evade taxes, rather than building a large plot of land, they would build taller. In Ireland is where they had taxes for windows. So that's why Irish, especially older homes, don't have huge windows. And they have the door that's half a window. And it was in order to evade that tax. WJ says there was once a glass tax. Interesting. Hey, excuse me. When does this food market open?
It's a wine festival.
Wine festival. Okay.
So it's like all kinds of different stands that sell some kind of wine, or we sell wine in general.
Yeah.
And that goes along with some food and music and
DJ.
A DJ.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And when is it?
It starts at 5.
It starts
Yeah.
at 5 too.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you
okay.
can buy like a ticket for I think €7.
7 years
And then
old.
you can enter the festival and it's very much
Oh, very cool.
fun.
Okay.
And it's tomorrow as well.
What time does it close tonight?
12.
12.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay,
it's,
so I got time.
It's till 12. Until 12 there's
Dancing.
like a bit of a light show, not too heavy, but a bit, and some dancing and the DJ. So it's nice.
Oh, very nice.
Tomorrow is from 1 to 12.
1 to 12. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
probably come back. Have a good day.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a wine festival. Interesting wine, and it runs from 5 to midnight. This is cool. And then there will be electronic music. It's funny because the Netherlands is actually one of the top places for electronic music in the world. Electronic music is extremely popular here, and some of the biggest electronic DJs in the entire world, Tiesto, Van Buren, and there's a huge list. They are all Dutch. So it's funny, he says it's not going to get too crazy. I assume because when it gets crazy here in the Netherlands. Like that. So as you saw, you can easily default to English here. You can do some of your best doing some Dutch, but you can just go directly into English. It's not like France, where people won't like if you default to English, or Italy too. Is it closed? Right here, through the cafe. Oh, a cafe. Hi. Is this the entrance to the church? Yeah, okay. I'll have one ticket, please.
There will be 5 rows.
Yeah.
Would you also like information?
No, is it extra or?
Yes, it's 250.
Yeah, sure.
Where from?
America.
Taart.
Okay, I'll have this one. Because I'm feeling very hungry. Yeah, always now. Whipped cream and chocolate sauce. Espresso. Otherwise, my stomach will be growling. It'll be too loud in the church.
Ja, ik geniet ervan.
Oh, great, perfect. And can I also have a receipt? Don't mind me if I speak to the camera. You know, that's how the video. Wow. All right, welcome everyone to Peter's Kirk. I am like really hungry. I did not expect to get hungry this soon. So luckily they have apple tart and some coffee. So I'm excited to try it out. But bear with me. I have to take a commercial break. So I'll be back in a little bit. I'm going to leave you with beautiful views of this cafe. I'll be back. Excuse me, where's your restroom?
Yes, of course. To the left, and then to the left.
Okay.
Ja. Ik ben er al aanstaan. Dit is wel aanstaan. En dan dit mes is hetzelfde.
Sorry, dankjewel.
It's crowded today. Yeah.
Wow. It's not really busy with the tourists.
Yeah, yeah. Imagine. Ooh, wonderful. Thank
If
you
you
so
would
much.
like some
Yeah.
sugar, you can find it over here.
Great. Thank you so
Enjoy.
much. All right, so everyone, we have a classic Dutch treat. Of course, you also find this in the US. This is an apple tart. Not quite a pie, so it's a bit more spongy, a bit more moist. And then, ooh, this is what I like, fresh whipped cream. And we got a little shot of espresso. So let's try out a classic apple tart before we go into a beautiful place of worship, Peter's Kirk. A history of 900 years. I'll tell you a little bit more about the history as we go inside, but let's try it out. Looks miniature. It's good. I think it's a good size for a tart. You wouldn't want a tart too big, you know, because sometimes with the big tart it means big issues. Try this out. It's so warm. Oh, that's really good. Hi. Hi. Super warm, very soft, very spongy, great sprinkle of cinnamon on it. The apples are very nice. Great thing is that it's not at all super sweet. In America, usually they pound on the sugar with these type of treats. And other countries, maybe like France, usually have more butter with these treats. Or Denmark as well. It was like Denmark had the most amount of butter I've ever tried in many pastries. But these are a little bit more reasonable. So that's why the rich people are very fit. Great whipped cream as well. Super soft, super creamy. I like that you usually get a lot of whipped cream with your apple pie. And it's not the one shaken in a can like that. It's very good. Edward says we're hungry now. So Edward mentioned, why did I leave my camera here? Luckily we are in a place of worship, so I trust it. But yes, don't usually do that. No. Is that the Mission theme song? Is that the theme song to The Mission, the movie The Mission? I think it is, yeah. It's by Ennio Morricone. It is, yeah. Very beautiful song. Nice. Beautiful song, very appropriate for the setting. And the crumble was lekker. Is that how you say it? Lekker? Yeah. There we go. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. So lekker means delicious, and apparently the sign, if your mouth is full, and someone asks you how's the food, you just go, which means delicious. It's delicious. So Pilgrims, American Pilgrims, the Puritans, stopped here in Leiden before coming over to Maryland, Massachusetts, North Carolina, many of those other settlements, all the way up in Maine. So interesting seeing they're empty. Wow. David says, I dare you to yell. I'll tell you a bit about the history. Wow, this is amazing. A very young Rembrandt, 1629. Rembrandt, the origins of the family of Master Rembrandt van Rijn lie in Leiden. Say that 10 times over. Lie in Leiden, the city where the old and new Rhine merge. Van Rijn, oh I see. The young Rembrandt would have ran through the surrounding streets of the Peterskirk here in Leiden when Rembrandt attended the Latin school. Wow. That's why I told the woman in the cafe I couldn't go inside this church hungry, otherwise you would hear my growls. So I'll read you a little bit book from this guidebook. It cost me €2. And it says, Peterskirk has been the central touchstone for Leiden for almost 900 years. St. Peter's two keys form Leiden's coat of arms and symbolically unlock the gates both to heaven and earth. This symbolism is reflected in use of Peterskirk, a transformation to form a Catholic church into a Reformed church, and since 1976, it was a multifunctional meeting place. Okay, so it's not really that religious anymore. The Peterskirk earliest history is by no means certain. Many different structures likely preceded the church. Around 1100, the Count's Chapel of the Counts of Holland stood on the spot. If I'm whispering on this level, I feel like I am that YouTuber turned TikToker. I forgot their name, but it's a person who talks about like fashion and talks about a very like soft way, and it's a meme right now where it's like, this is my Birkin, this is my other Birkin. Let me know if you know who I'm talking about, because right now I feel like I'm speaking like that person. So according to J.J. Orler's, this church was founded in 1121. And the need for the parish, but the need for a larger building quickly arose. And by 1350, it expanded with a tower. Oh wow, and eventually came to be 70 meters high. Wow. Well, here we have the Mayflower Compact 2020, a covenant between the communities of the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and the United States of America, work in partnership to the joint 400th commemoration of the sailing of the Mayflower in 1620. Yeah, there's a lot of Mayflower history here. Look at this. In memory of John Robinson, the pastor of the English church in Leiden. And Leiden, right here, spelled like the Leiden in New York, which is in upstate New York. 1609, 1625. Wow, he was very young. His broadly tolerant mind guided and developed the religious life of the Pilgrims of the Mayflower. Of him, these walls enshrine all that was mortal in his undying spirit, still dominates the conscience of a mighty nation in the land beyond seas. Wow. Erected back in 1928 by descendants from the U.S. So it says, Thanksgiving is inherited from Leiden. After the siege of 1574, it became custom to have an annual service of Thanksgiving in Peterskirk from the liberation of the city. The delivery of food to starving inhabitants of Leiden. Herring and white bread are distributed to remind the people of the ships bearing food that came into the city via the river Vlet. People also eat hutspot, a kind of vegetable stew that the Spaniards are reputable to have left behind. Some people believe that Thanksgiving Day consists of elements of the celebration added onto a harvest festival. Wow. This church has a lot of history. It says civil marriage is a Dutch invention. Normally only a marriage performed by the state church was legal. Wow, and the Pilgrims brought this invention of civil marriage by the state, over to America. That is fascinating. This is what I meant when I said that America has deep, deep ties with the Netherlands. And we don't know it. A lot of stuff here, very important to American history, but we only really know about New Amsterdam. That's it. Kind of sucks. But here we are to enlighten all of you with that history. The Pilgrims, important to the U.S., Pilgrims were a small group but their ideals had a big influence on what was going on in the United States of America. They are in the embodiment of values that the U.S. has built on. Some descendants of the Pilgrims became part of the American elite. 9 presidents, father and son Adams, Zachary Taylor, Ulysses S. Grant, James A. Garfield, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and both Bushes and Barack Obama are direct descendants. What? From Pilgrims? Obama? Okay, cool. Really? That is interesting. So Ron asks, are the Amish descendant of the Pilgrims? No. So the Amish, though they may dress similar to how the Pilgrims looked. Whoa. There's a full-on cafe. Yeah, so the Amish, though they may look kind of similar to Pilgrim dress, the Amish are descended from the Germans. They're German Quakers or German, let me know the denomination of the Amish, but they're German descendants. Not Quakers. Quakers were English, but they're a German descendant. So that's why we call them Pennsylvania Dutch. Not because they're Dutch, but because they're Deutsch, German. Wow. This is a great chair, very comfortable. Very comfortable. Very nice. I like it. Great slope. It has great support for my buttocks. Great back support. Nice lumbar support with the pillow. And great views in this gorgeous church. Great place to sit and read. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I would give this nice chair here in the church a very good, solid 8.5 out of 10. Mathona says you fill a lot in for your trip to Amsterdam. I wonder, how do you plan all these trips? I use a place as my base of operations and then go from day trips there. Yeah, I'll tell you more outside. Hey, look who it is. George H.W. Bush. Oh, cool. That's awesome. He was here. He's there with Queen Beatrix, the former Queen of the Netherlands. He visited on 17th July 1989 First American president to do so. He came here because he was the descendant of the Pilgrims that left between 1609 and 1620. That's what happens when you're in Leiden. You can open doors just by waving your hand. Hey, Sandros, I mentioned I'm shocked that you're wearing jeans in the church. Sandro, hey, we're touristing around, and I've touristed around far more important churches in jeans. It's if you're in very strict Catholic areas like the Vatican City, they don't allow shorts. It's pretty much the only restriction, or tank tops, pretty much. And then beyond that, almost everyone wears jeans. Like literally, look at any church video I've done, almost everyone's in jeans. And then sometimes even shorts. It's just the Vatican City is probably the only place I've seen that they restrict you from not entering with shorts. Maybe some Orthodox churches in Greece too. All right, let's continue walking around. That was fun. That was a great church. Susie says, I'm not wearing a hoodie. It really wouldn't matter whatever I'm wearing. Just don't come in naked, I would say. Anything more is okay. You can wear your Crocs with your shorts and your tank top with emblazoned with a huge fashion logo. Wearing like 5 chains, you can do that. Just wear something. Sandra says you didn't go into churches in England and Scotland. I have, yeah, many churches were featured in England and Scotland, including the most important one in England, Canterbury Cathedral. Chris says, oh my god, you have the streets to yourself. Yeah, basically. Ron says, being a tropical country here in the Philippines, they're also not strict with dress. Yeah, and Puerto Rico too. Mexico, same thing. You can wear basically anything. Young Rembrandt is near that place. You can watch a nice short film about Rembrandt. It's nice and free. Yes, let's go to that. Where is it? Oh, I love this. I love small little businesses and residential streets. Look at that. It's not open today, but it's a general store. Oh, cool. Seems to be more like a cafe for drinking some beer. Okay, which way is young Rembrandt? Let's see. Zen says mixed zoning rules. It really does rule. Yeah, it's the best. I would not trade it. Like New York needs to do this ASAP. Like I'm coming back to New York and I'm gonna speak with Mayor Eric Adams so he can change the zoning regulations across the entire city so we can have mixed-use buildings almost everywhere. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I will be live streaming that as well, so you can all see it happen in action. Susie says, can you bring back Mayor Bloomberg while you're at it? Maybe I'll have him join me in that discussion with Adams. Zen says, not just New York, please, the entire U.S. So don't worry, I'll get to President Biden soon. I got to start with Eric Adams first. Hey, yeah, I'm a vlogger, yeah.
Yes?
Yeah,
Where you from?
New York City.
What?
New York City.
What kind of vlog you make?
I make videos about travel.
You
Yeah.
have a lot of subscribers.
Yeah, I do, yeah,
How
yeah.
much?
Right now I have 56,000 on YouTube and 500,000 on TikTok.
Can I be on the vlog?
You can say hello. What's your favorite thing about
New
Leiden?
York City.
Yeah, I'm from New York City. What's your favorite thing about Leiden?
Leiden.
Yeah.
Gonna make some content for you.
The favorite thing about Leiden is I think everybody knows each other here.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a small community.
It's a small community. How about what's the best food to eat?
I think Moxie.
Moxie.
Moxie is
Ooh.
Indonesian. of
Indonesian. Okay.
Some content.
So
course. And New York.
do you drive that way?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How's New York City?
It's amazing, man. It's the
Yes?
best. Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to go there with my wife.
We went to Panama together.
Oh, to Panama. Nice.
Yes, and
Well,
after that we went. We want to go to Colombia, but with the time and we are busy with work,
yeah.
so we didn't have time for that.
What brought you guys over to Panama?
Yeah, some business.
Oh, business. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
some
Mega
business.
Pro.
What?
Yes, it's like Omega Pro. It's a forex mark.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, you can put money inside, and your network, your networking like that way. And for business, we went that way.
Oh,
But
very cool.
Our next destination is New York City.
Oh,
I
cool.
hope so,
Yeah.
because we never have been there. The
Enjoy
only
it.
problem, you have no beach.
We do have a beach.
You have?
Yeah, we do in
Hey,
South
then.
Queens, and there's actual white sand.
That's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
What is the criminality?
Queens
also
is
high?
one of the 5 boroughs of New York City.
It's a lot of criminality.
There is some places a little bit
Brooklyn.
more
I'm
dangerous.
from Brooklyn.
It'll feel a little bit more dangerous than Amsterdam or
Yes.
Netherlands, a little bit, but it's still safe. Still safe. You guys will be okay.
Hey, you
Yeah.
want to put it in the vlog?
This is all live video, so you guys
Okay,
are already
wait,
in
wait.
there.
Yeah. Give me the.
Yeah, sure thing.
We're gonna see this, those. Whoa!
You can watch my videos. I have a lot of videos on New York City, and then you'll learn more about
like, follow.
it. Thank you, I appreciate it. There we go. Yeah, you can see it.
You start the whole
I like this man.
There we go.
Yeah, this one.
There we go.
We zijn live, bro.
Yeah, you guys are on there right already. Yeah.
How much?
What's your names?
My name is Mo. And
Mo?
that's,
Also, Mo.
Also Mo, Ariel. Nice to meet you guys. Moxa, right? Was the place that you recommended? Muxi. Awesome, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right, so let's continue walking around. Shout out to the guys who said hello. They're still watching the video. Mo and Mo, yes, Ebron. Mo and Mo indeed. Went to Panama on business. All right. Ooh, another theater here. All the bikes. Wow. Wow, look at this, an old theater. Wow. That's amazing. Ooh, they're playing Thor and Love and Thunder. Usually they play it in the original language and put subtitles in Dutch. Let me see. Show how that looks like. Wow, cool. Have you been to the Leiden Town Hall? Yes, says Ra. Is it open to tourists? Usually town halls aren't. Very few I've encountered in my travels where you can actually walk inside them. Kay, indeed. I won't repeat Kay's comment, but indeed, Kay makes a good point. Or we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, everyone. So if you want to read chats from other places, you can go to those other platforms. Preference so far for Haarlem and Leiden? I'm digging the vibe of Leiden more than Haarlem. Haarlem is as beautiful of a city. Something interesting about Leiden. Can't quite put my finger on it. It's very similar in look. It seems a bit more business. They're about the same size. Leiden has around a population of 111,000. Same thing with Haarlem. Hey, Bruce from Waterloo, Iowa. Welcome. Oh, that's a cool jacket. Wow, love it. Kitty says it's like stepping into the rocks in Sydney. Yeah, I heard about Sydney having a very old town. I can't wait to see it myself one day. Apparently a lot older buildings were torn down in Sydney and a few other Australian cities. But yeah, I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Peggy says, you should buy another jacket. My closet is already getting way too full. I bought too many jackets. Too many jackets here. Are none of the bikes locked up? They are locked up. They just, they lock the gears, the wheel. So you can't really steal it. So you'll have to snap the cable off. And not that many people are snapping cables, at least not all the time. Of course, with all the bikes, there is still bike thievery, so it does kind of suck. Peggy says, just buy another suitcase. The problem is at home. Debbie says you need a closet room. Yeah, that's the problem, at home. My jacket collection is becoming quite big. All right, so where is the... Wandering around sometimes comes with its downside. You end up walking in a circle, which is exactly what we're doing right now. But let's see if we can find the exhibition for Rembrandt, which is free. Sandra says the Harris tweed jacket will last you for a lifetime. Yeah, I'm excited to wear it during fall. Peggy says we need to find Ariel a jacket sponsor. I would love to be sponsored by a clothing company. That would be awesome. I tried reaching out to Scotch and Soda. Couldn't find a contact at Scotch and Soda because it would have been amazing to show that clothing company that are based in Amsterdam. David says, try to find the road not taken. Oh, that's very poetic, David. Oh, that's the windmill. You can go there. Lizette says, my birth country. I'm so glad this is your birth country. Beautiful birth country you have, Lizette. Almo says, maybe try going to Primark. That might be interesting. Guadalupe says, Leiden has a intellectual, spiritual, academic, and youthful vibe that cannot be denied. That is a great way of putting it. Oh, that's the other windmill. We have a lot of windmills here. There's all the windmills. But let's check out Rembrandt's childhood home. Jack says, I appreciate your people skills. Thank you, Jack. New York is the best training grounds for people skills. You encounter literally every single type of person in New York. I live in Houston now, but born in Amsterdam. Love this live, says Lizette. Oh, I'm so glad, Lizette. Here are the houseboats. XOXO Bob, just subscribe. Thanks for taking us on your journeys. That's amazing. Oh, thank you so much. Kay says, I have to admit, I love Primark. It's called Pennies here. Oh my God. I did not know these existed in the Netherlands. These are the clothes, like in Scotland, in Edinburgh. Let's check out. Let's go through clothes. There we go. There's a little private street. So Thomas says there's a name in Dutch for them. It's called stegs. Steg. Thank you so much for letting us know. Steg. Wow, newer buildings. And I do like the style of these newer buildings. You can see how they do windows in a very fascinating way. The Dutch are just amazing at windows, both for old buildings and new buildings. Sylvie says that you don't lose signal. Nope. All right, little guy. You want to join on the adventure? Come on. Also dimension to the buildings. Yep, you can see dimensions. There's one thing we do in America. We tend to just make it flat. All right, so yeah. Here's another poem. Tamo says, this is all urban renewal from the 1980s. Yeah. So right here is where Rembrandt would have lived. In this corner, right here on this canal. And that windmill right here was built in the late 80s. 1980s, that is. And it was meant to recreate what Rembrandt's father's windmill would have looked like, because his father was involved in that type of business. Apparently this is open on Saturdays, but I think it's closed right now. Thank you so much, Matt. So Matt has posted a little bit more information on the windmill. In 1611, the post mill de Vlak was built, and in 1667 it was replaced by a wooden post mill. Abrin says, I can't stop watching, but I have to go. Thank you so much for tuning in, Abrin. Thank you so much for pressing that like button. I appreciate that. Martin says there's a stable connection. This has been the best. This has been by far the country with the best internet service I've had thus far. So here it says the northern bank of the River Rhine, which we're seeing right now, the River Rhine, the Rhine River, cultivated in the beginning of the 17th century. The economy boomed. The economy boomed between 1574 and 1600. The population grew to 24,000. Leiden was overcrowded and was the country's biggest city after Amsterdam. The magistrate decided to expand the city and begin building the city's carpenter's yard and mason's workshop. Further down is one of the city's gates, the Moor's Poort. This gate was also called the Glagpoort, the Gallows Gate, named after the gallows field outside the city. The city's plans from 1609 to 1649 shows the situation before and after the expansion. So right here we can see, wow. So town hall, I think, should be this. Oh no, this is the church. The two churches. We gotta find this place right here, which is the old fort and the windmill. We're seeing it right here. A windmill would have been at the edge of the city. Look at that. Right there, look at that, so cool. I just had two people just stare at me as I'm speaking to the camera. I always find it very fascinating when people are just like, when I'm filming and I say hello and they keep doing that. It's like, all right, nothing special here. So right over here is the gallows. This was the gallows. Hopefully they're not used as the gallows anymore. This is where they would execute people. They would apparently hang them in a way that they would drown as they're being hanged. It sounds like the worst thing ever, and I got mute because it's probably okay, I think we're far away. There was a boat playing very popular techno music. Neptune Sir says people do FaceTime these days. Yeah, that's why I'm shocked when people are shocked that I'm on camera. Yeah, I had to mute because there was a boat passing by with very loud electronic music. I told you, the Dutch love their electronica. David says you should wear a hat saying that I'm live streaming. What is this over here? Te herinnering aan Jamie Archivet als Nederlands militair uit Leiden vertrokken naar Nederlands Oost-Indie Zuid keerden niet weer. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Something about the military here in South Holland. This seems to be a memorial for people who served in the military during that era, 45 to 52. Robert says the Dutch are the best trance DJs. Yeah, as mentioned, Tiesto, Van Buren. Name me the other Dutch DJs. There's many others. Infinite says, why are there no tourists? So this is a very famous city, but it's not one of the top tourist ones. People, when they come to Amsterdam or to the Netherlands, they usually stick to Amsterdam. That's number one. Number two, they usually only come for a few days. They're not coming here for, like I am, for a long time. It's already been a week and a half that I'm here. So a lot of people are not doing that. That said, if they do come to Amsterdam for a few days, say 4 or 5 days maybe, my family came here for like 5 days maximum, they will only allot for Amsterdam 2 or 3 days. Maybe they'll go to The Hague or to Rotterdam or to Haarlem, and basically, or to Zanskans, and basically that's it. Leiden ain't on the top of that list, unfortunately. Oh, so let's consult the guidebook. If you're watching and getting very frustrated, like, why are you turning and why are you going in circles? We're just enjoying the walk. We're meandering around for good purpose. Because sometimes by meandering, yeah, you might not reach all the sites. Things do close at 5 p.m., but it's a wonderful way to explore a city. And one can always come back. So I'm looking at the Rembrandt tour book, and I'm gonna see if they have something here. Yeah, here they do. Okay, cool. Okay. So here we see the Galgenwater, which we're at right now. So I'll read from this. It says the section of the Rhine takes its name from the gallows, where criminals were once hanged after being convicted and sentenced at the Gravenstein. The court Galgenwater is now a historical port of the old commercial vessels. Rembrandt was one of the first students. Ooh, in this studio over here. It was then called the Nedergelagde Verwal. Pardon my Dutch. Webster University is now located on the site of his former studio. That's amazing. And then we have a drawing of what the windmills will look like with this scene. So right over here, we have what this scene would have looked like. It says, in this drawing, the original mill from Rembrandt's time can still be seen on the right here. The rebuilt Molen de Poets currently stands on this site as a miller's son Rembrandt likely witnessed Molen de Poets' spectacular move in 1619 through the city to its location. Just over the bridge from this house, put the miller hoped for more profit from the west wind at this location, just like the Van Ryn family. When there was enough wind, they left 2 mills on the other side of the water, grind malt all day and night for the many breweries. And right here we can see one of Rembrandt's paintings of a mill. So of course he grew up knowing mills his entire life. So he milled over drawing the mill. And we can see a reconstruction of what Rembrandt's house will look like right near us. This is a reconstruction done back in the 1960s. Right here. So Father Rembrandt was Rembrandt's father, who was a well-known man in Leiden, especially in this neighborhood. In 1602, he was the first neighborhood magistrate to be appointed. And he died in April 1630 and was buried here in Peterskirk. Oh, he was buried in Peterskirk, where we just went. And Rembrandt's mother was often used as a model in her paintings and in his paintings and etchings. One of them is an old woman who speculated to be Rembrandt's mother. Oh wow, this might be Rembrandt's mother. In 1639, Rembrandt came to Leiden and painted her as an old, broken and worn out crone leaning heavily onto her stick. Oh my god. Rembrandt, why paint your mother in that fashion? It was the last portrait he would make of her. She died shortly thereafter. Well, yeah, with a depiction like that, anyone would be shocked to death. She was also buried in Peterskirk. So Barry says it's pronounced put, not put. Thank you, put. Poor Rembrandt's mother. Wow. Ah, look what we have here. Is this a young Rembrandt? Infinite Growth says the Hortus Botanicus is the oldest botanical garden. Yeah. Can't wait to go. Is it still hot? Bob, no. It's 69 degrees Fahrenheit right now. I'm wearing 2 layers. I'm a bit sad. I wanted to wear short shorts, a tank top, and my Crocs. But no, it's too cold. Too cold for Crocs. I'm a bit disappointed. Can now wear the footwear choice of my people, that being Americans. I can't represent my people here because it's too cold. Rembrandt was born on 15th July in 1606 in this alley. He lived here until 1631, so and into his early 20s. Other family members were also living in this neighborhood, and his father owned several houses. Wow, just outside the walled city. David says, speak for yourself. David, I think it's very well known that Crocs is our national footwear. Just like clogs are the national footwear for the Dutch. Crocs are our heritage. We have to be proud of our American heritage and wear those Crocs with pride. And short shorts too. It's a more American heritage. So to all the Americans out there, please be proud of your heritage. Guadalupe says, I'm laughing out loud visualizing you in that shorts outfit. Paz says, just clear your throat when reading the G out loud. You talking about the Dutch G? Yeah. Will do. Lorraine says, fantastic exhibition. Yeah, beautiful sculpture they did, Rembrandt right there. And there's another one that maybe we'll pop on. But let's go, let's see if we can see the Rembrandt exhibition right here. It's cool that we are in this city because I do intend on going to the Rijksmuseum. Rijksmuseum. You gotta roll those R's. And that's the National Museum in Amsterdam that has the famous paintings of Rembrandt. see it. Thomas says you don't need to roll the R. Almost half of the Dutch don't roll their R's. But I want to be that half that rolls the R's. It sounds cool. I want more people live streaming in my country, says Henry Van Megan. Yeah, it is awesome. Yeah, I hope some locals consider live streaming. It'd be nice to see Netherlands from a local perspective. Henry says the DJ Osmo is surely doing his job. Yeah, today was a day I could have used a second phone because I don't have GPS. So it's hard to navigate the city because it's a lot of crisscrossing streets. So I gotta find out where to go now. Cyclists. Tamo says the same thing with the good old G. Half of the Dutch don't use it, the other half do. Oh, there's a beautiful gate down there. Jacob says Not Just Bikes does not really stream. I think he only did one. Henry says, I know my way around Haarlem. This is not Haarlem. Right now we're in Leiden. I was trying to find my way around to the Rembrandt exhibition, but I have no idea where it is. I've lost all sense of direction here in Leiden. That's what happens when you're in Leiden. You lose sense of direction. You end up just being directionless. You transcend space and time when you're in Leiden. Jacob says he's done 6 or 7 streams. Oh, cool. Oh, what is this here? Here they painted something called the Civic Guards. The gate behind you gave access to St. Joris. This was the largest target range of the 2 Civic Guards in Leiden. The sandstone gate was designed in 1645 by architect Arndt van Gravesand. The sculpture group on the gate depicts St. George slaying the dragon. The Civic Guards consisted of armed citizens. Sorry, I just had to mute. There was a boat passing by with popular music. Wow. Look at that. Zen, have you heard of a place called Efteling? Yeah, it's like the Tivoli Gardens of Netherlands, I heard. I don't know too much about it. Ooh, look, a little bakery here. Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Dankjewel, want die kleine dag verder.
What is this over here?
It's a carrot cake.
Carrot cake. Okay. And then this is bread pudding?
No,
No.
it's I don't know.
What's very traditional Dutch?
I think, or I think
Oh, nice. Okay, I'll have this big one. I'll try. Yeah. I'll try that out. Let's see. What else do you recommend? What's your best pastry in your opinion?
This is all we have left, so.
I'll have a carrot cake, please. Thank you so much. And black card. Also, bottled water, please. Regular still. Yeah. All right. Card. I'll pay cash. Sorry, I only have a huge bill.
No, that's fine.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
Have a great day.
Have a good day.
Goodbye.
Bye. All right, that was very, very awkward. The woman behind the cashier was very nice, but the other woman inside looked deeply annoyed when I asked what was their best pastry. And she was like, this is all we have. I'm like, okay. I just want to know, what do you recommend? Like, you're a baker. What's your favorite baked good? That's all I want to know. And of course I didn't show her face, but yeah, it was very annoyed. She stepped out as I was ordering. He missed the apple flap. I mean, that's why I asked what was their favorite. I wanted them to point me in the direction of the apple one, but they didn't. Susie says people get annoyed there too. Indeed, yes. I mean, that could happen anywhere around the world. Diane says language barrier? No, everyone knows English here. No, there's no language barrier at all. So let's try this out. This is, here it says, this canal, Rappenberg, was dug up not too long after the 1200s to provide the young city of Leiden with good defenses. Wow. And then later became one of the most fashionable canals. Ron says maybe it's asking like, what's your favorite kid? Maybe, I'm not sure. I have no clue. Barry says, please try the apple. Will do. You might have caused an international baking incident. You might be having a bad day. It's not your problem. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. All right, let's try this out. So we end up getting a huge cookie and a carrot cake. I'm gonna try a bite of each. First of all, let's try the carrot cake, which is pretty ubiquitous. Roxanne says go to a different bakery. Maybe. It did look very charming. This is called Us Bertus. Bertus. Show you the other way around after I bite into this. Looks like a good carrot cake. Look at that. Pretty light in color. That's why I had to ask what it was. Not bakeries, says WJ. That was a bakery. They were baking in the back, yeah. All right, cheers. It is good. It's a bit dry, so it reminds me more of the carrot breads that you end up getting in American coffee shops. A bit dry. It tastes more like a banana bread. It's icing. It's not cream cheese frosting. So this one's not too interesting. Let's try the cookie. So, of course, the Dutch are famous for their cookies. This is not like a cookie. It seems to be like a pancake type of thing. It's soft. Tammany says it doesn't have shreds of carrot. It does have shreds of carrot. So it does taste good. It's just big, mediocre in terms of its taste. But this is like a pancake. This is interesting. Never tried something like this. Let me know if you tried something like this. Yeah. This is a pancake. This is literally a pancake. It's a cold pancake. It's good. But you really need some coffee with this. Yeah, this is not too terribly interesting. All right, that was a baking fail. Charming looking bakery. Very annoyed people inside. Not the most interesting baked goods. It looked quite good, said Morgan. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice. I have high standards for baked goods. So this is one of the fashionable areas. XOXO says that looked dry. Yeah, it was, yeah. It's an egg cake, says Martin. Thank you, Martin, for clarifying. But to me, it literally tastes like a cold pancake. It's interesting. It's an egg cake. Thank you. David says, you're sounding more and more Dutch. How so? How so? Let me know, David. Expound on that, please. Here we're seeing the fancy houses of Leiden. Wow. Tamo says, it looks like an eggs cake. Don't like those. Yeah, pretty simple. It's good with maybe with the tea or coffee. Large cup of coffee. Definitely needs a drink with a hot drink. Wow, look at that. Akers says, this looks like a slum. Akers, I'm not sure where you live. If this looks like a slum to you, I would recommend not traveling basically anywhere around the world because you're going to be sorely disappointed in any other city in Europe if this to you looks like a slum. Henry says, do you eat meat? Yes, I do. Try Frikadelle Special before you leave. Ooh, where's Frikadelle Special? Susie says, a slum? Has he been to East Williamsburg? All right, I found the museum. Let's check out this museum. Let me see if I can film inside. Sabi says, since it's 5 p.m., you got the leftovers of the day. Maybe, yeah. Maybe they were ready to close. Is it already 5 p.m. exactly? Let me know. Ooh, another poem here. Fortunately, the poems are in Dutch. No. Oh, this one might be in English. Yes! English. It's a Shakespeare poem. Oh. Oh my god, a bespoke suit maker. That's so cool. So these type of establishments, they make you a suit completely custom. Everything is custom, and the suit is made to your exact measurements and proportions and preferences. You can have whatever type of many types of pocket. You can have a pocket up there, as this jacket has. You can have slanted pockets. You can have button pockets. You can do anything. You can put any buttons you want on that. There's Leon Claver. I don't know about these guys. Usually people use them for weddings, or people sometimes get bespoke suits. They usually have one. Diane says you need one. I do want one, yeah. Usually a bespoke suit would cost anywhere between, in Western Europe or America, cost between 3,000 probably be the cheapest you can find them. That would probably not be the best quality. Up to 9,000. If I go to a country like Hong Kong, that'll probably be way cheaper. Maybe like 2,000. So yes, I really would love a bespoke suit. It's all in Dutch, but I like their animations. Kind of cool. And they also have the shoes. Hey, Susie says, if you ever return to New York, I would love you to do a video of Martin Greenfield. I would love that. He does not charge too much. I think him it was like $3,000, which is a good price for one of the most iconic bespoke tailors. All right, let's check out this museum. Let's see if it's open. David says James Bond's tailor. James Bond's tailor would be in Savile Row in London. Those guys definitely following that same tailoring tradition. Not specifically English, but just in general. So here's Rijksmuseum van Oud-Heden. Let's check it out. 1700. 5 p.m. What time is it? Hey, you still open or is it already closed? It's already closed. Okay, yeah. Can I just see a little bit of this? Okay. I just want to take a photo. Can I take a photo of this? Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a good day. So that temple that I just showed you is a fully intact ancient Egyptian temple. It's among the many temples that are in some of the most prominent museums in the Western world. In New York City, we have one such temple. It's called the Temple of Dendur. This one is another temple that was given around the same time that New York received its temple that is installed in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. So yeah, here we have a fully intact Egyptian temple brought over here from Egypt, and now it's in this museum. It looks really cool, but unfortunately it's closed. Things closed, as I mentioned, start your day trips early when you come to other cities. I would say, so I'm doing live video, so the nature of these live videos are walking around, but save your walking after 5 p.m. Save your strolling after 5 p.m. There you can see the entire city. Do your museums and your major attractions before 5 p.m. David says, yeah, this was a gift from either a gift or they bought it from Egypt. One of those two. This was not pillaged. as people like to believe. Susie says, don't eat after 5 p.m. Don't do that either. Don't eat after 5 p.m. Don't eat before 5 p.m. Wait until after 5 p.m. Restaurants, luckily, a lot of them are open until like 10 p.m. So this is a sonnet by good old William Shakespeare. When the sessions of sweet silent thought I summon up the remembrance of things past, I sigh the lack of many a thing I sought, and with the old woes new wail my dear time's waste. Then I can drown an eye, earnest to flow for your precious friends hid in death's dateless night, and weep afresh love's long since cancelled woe, and moan the expense of many a vanished sight. Then I can only grieve at grievances foregone, and heavily from woe, to o'er the sad account for bemoaned, moaned. Oh wow. Shakespeare liked his tongue twisters, which I knew pay as if not paid before. But if the while I think on thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and sorrows end. Wow. There we go. Sonnet number XXX. Ooh, it's a explicit sonnet. It's a triple X sonnet. Watch out. Ambrose says, too bad it's not in English. Might as well not be in English, yeah. There's a lot of words that I'm not used to seeing. And the way they're written is different from what I'm used to. But these are one of the poems just passed by. Many of them are in Dutch, of course. But this one, luckily, is in English. Unspecified V says, this is sonnet number 30. No, it's sonnet triple X. Because it was written for the film Triple X starring Vin Diesel. That's why. Thank you. Yeah, it is number 30. Yes. Mater says, you're supposed to start the sonnet with Maria. Yes, I could read the sonnet in a telenovela style. That might help with emphasizing the beauty and the majesty of Shakespeare's words. Especially when doing a dramatic reading, yeah. I think that demands a dramatic reading. Wow. So here we have Addit Law, Cornelius van Vollenhoven. The former Dutch East Indies Company, currently Indonesia, had formed an unwritten jurisdiction based on the conviction that the Netherlands should develop an exemplary colonial judicial system. Leiden professor Cornelius van Vollenhoven decided in the early 20th century to delve deeper into this oral jurisdiction, the Addit Law. The colossal research project led to the description, recognition, and the use of Addit Law. His interpretation of Addit Law gave the local population more rights, and as a result, caused the friction between Van Vollenhoven and the colonial administration. Ultimately, though, his ideas prevailed. Today, Van Vollenhoven continues to be known in Indonesia as the father of Addit Law. Interesting. This guy's famous in Indonesia. Apparently lived right around here. Wow. Kay says it's been a long time since I heard a dramatic reading. Kay, I have retired from dramatic readings. But maybe something will summon me out of retirement soon. So it is clear to me that Leiden is a city to come for 2 days. This is a gorgeous city. You can visit the Botanical Garden, which I don't think we even have time. There's a few museums, like that Museum of Antiquities. And there's a lot of other cool stuff. Wow. Nick says you don't get to witness this gorgeous architecture. Yeah, it is a gorgeous architecture everywhere. Gorgeous homes. Bak King is watching from Indonesia, where audit law exists. Oh, that's so cool. Is this still known? Is it still famous? Audit law? Do let me know. The Naturalist Museum is very popular, says Zen. Oh, thank you, Zen. I appreciate that. Hello, Ariel. Welcome, Ariel. My dad is tuning in on Facebook. Leiden was one of the first cities to shake off those Spanish Catholic yoke. Leiden, am I a yoke to you? What is this, Leiden? That's not very enlightened of you to call the Spaniards yoke. As a consequence, the first University of Protestant Netherlands was established here. This chapel was modified to render the building suitable for academic purposes. An upper story was constructed, whose presence is still discernible from the ways the windows are divided into two. In the 16th century, when the Austrian ambassador to the Turkish court returned home with a tulip bulb in Vienna, he passed it to Carlos Classius, perfect for the imperial medicinal garden. In 1593, Classius took up the appointment at the University of Leiden. He planted these bulbs in the botanical garden of the university. Oh. Originally a monastery church of Dominican nuns, consecrated in 1516 during the Reformation, the nuns left the cloister. And in 1575, a university was founded and the academy became its main building, extensively refurbished in that year after a large fire in 1616. Wow. Behind the building, the Hortus Botanicus is situated, where one of the first tulips in Western Europe bloomed. Sunshine says the air quality must be great. Ah, yes. It is amazing. I love the smell of bikes in the morning. Very nice. Let's go to Hortus Botanicus. Kay says it's start party time. Oh yeah. Is it open? Please be open. Please be open. 18, I think. Oh no. 18 minus 2, we only have like 30 minutes. Please just have something open. Ariel sent 200 stars. Thank you so much. Star parties give big bonuses, so thank you everyone so much for sending them. All right, let's go inside. Hi. To go inside the botanical garden?
Yeah, you can still go, but we're only open for 40 more minutes.
That's okay. Yeah, I'll go inside. Yeah.
So then it's 8 euros.
All right. Thank you. Cool. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh my God. Here's the guy who brought the bulbs. Oh my God, we got lucky. It's time for celebration. Round of hearts for the botanical garden. Thank you so much for being open until 6 p.m. Gave me time to see something. Anything. Let's go this way.
Ga je dingen helemaal moeten aanpassen? Dat is niet bij...
Henry says €8. Still nice of you to sponsor them though. Yeah, these are not collaborations with these museums. I'm just popping in. Sometimes I end up being invited by museums. And when I am, I end up telling you. Wow. It's cool that the canal runs through the building. Palms seem to grow anywhere, says XOXO. Yeah, but not without spending a whole lot of money. Palms sometimes are very expensive to maintain. Systematic garden. Oh my God, a stone circle. I think I hear a hum. Oh, and that kid is about to be transported back in time. Uh-oh, got a low battery. So this is the oldest botanical garden in all of the Netherlands. This should be around the 3rd or 4th oldest botanical garden in all of Europe. The 2 oldest ones are located in the city of Pisa, should be the oldest one in Italy. And the other one was, I forgot the other city, but there's another city in Italy that also had a botanical garden. Also starts with the P. And then this one was made by the late 1500s. Barry says in the Victorian glass house. Yeah, we're going to the greenhouse. Is it Padua? I think it is, yeah. Thank you, Asfiel. Yeah, I think it is. Padua, yeah. Wow. Look at this. Oh, these are bellflowers. Wilmy, nice to see you here. The lineage of these plants can be traced it could be traced 200 years ago. Yeah, that's awesome to hear, Henry. No entry. I'll show you from the window. In order to stay a little bit longer, I'll just pretend I'm in that party right down there. Let's go into the glass house right here. Why do some plants look so anemic? It's not the season for them. Summer tulips, for example, it's not season for tulips, so that might be the reason. I'm not too well versed in botany, but yeah, some plants are not in season. Hopefully you'll find Victoria Amazonica. Ah, you're talking about the water lilies? Oh, I can't wait to see that. Oh. Oh, it's hot. Stuff. I got like 10,000 brochures in my backpack. And my backpack is becoming too heavy. I got too many books. The star says they're flying Dutch frigates of doom. Let's go into the jungles of Leiden. I need a machete. Sunshine says this is heaven. You know what they call the Amazon, right? The green hell. But no, this is pretty heavenly. I like this. Thank you, Sunshine, for a $5 super chat. Appreciate that. So Sunshine is sponsoring part of this adventure here. To one of the oldest botanical gardens in all of Europe. Ooh, nutmeg. Yeah, this is what they put in carrot cake. Black pepper. Cool. Don't smoke nutmeg, my friends, okay? Don't do it because it causes temporary paralysis. Trust me on that. Ooh, ginger. Now ginger. Yeah, ginger is good. Do drink some ginger. Oh my god, something fell. Yeah. So this is the banana plant. Look how huge the banana plant is. So there's a interesting video that is called "Are Bananas Herbs?" Because bananas technically grow more like herbs than they do like fruits. Because they're like part of the leaves. Wow. Jade vine. Ooh, damn, that's a vine. That tree be vine. Alexandra says it's really humid in here. Yeah, it's very humid. I'm joking, I did not buy into that. Oh my god, is this the corpse flower? No, it's not. Titan Arum. Star says these gardens are cool. Yeah. We're filming for communication purposes. Oh, cool. Hey guys, we are on their film. Oh, wow. That's a gigantic leaf. Oh my god. What is this? Well, do not touch, it says. It is Lincolncassia gigante. I just want to like take this leaf, bring it over to New York, drop in a random New York City park, and see how people react. Because it kind of does look like it could be like a gigantic version of a maple leaf. I just want to put this like in an Airbnb. I want like stay at Airbnb or like a friend's house who's asking me to water their plants. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll water your plants. And then when I'm finished with my stay there and they come back, I put this inside and replace it with one of the other plants. And they'll come and like, it's like, wow, you did water it. How much water did you put there? That'll be the best prank ever. Star says the person would be saying, you water it so good. Yeah. It's like, here's a hand comparison. I'm not gonna touch it, but here's a hand comparison. It can't even fit into the frame. It's that big. Bruce says, I love the dry humor. Bruce, this is purely humid humor because we're in a humid space. So this is nice and humid, okay? No dry humor here. Pure humid humor. Watch out with that one. Old man Volterra says, I wish the insect would answer the damn phone. Ron says Filipinos would use that as a plate for a feast. We use banana leaves for everything. Cynthia says, where is the noise coming from? It's one of the gigantic man-eating insects that they have here. They've been mutated over the generations, kept in cages here at the University of Leiden. There was unfortunately an outbreak about 200 years ago. The giant man-eating insects ate at least 50 people. Luckily, Rembrandt's family survived, but it scarred him for life, so that's why he moved over to Amsterdam. Ever since then, they've been keeping them in cages. They're right below our feet in the basement, but they allow just a little bit of ventilation, so that's why we're hearing their noises. Right now they're mating, trying to reproduce into more man-eating insects. I'm joking around. This is probably a tiny little insect. I'm doing what we Americans call talking out of my ass. That's the American expression. Uh-oh. Noxious gas has been released into the air. Wish me luck, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be here. Oh, I hope this is not fertilizer. I hope it's just water. Just out of nowhere. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I watch a lot of movies. Oh, this is hot. Oh my God, a butterfly. Whoa. Wow. Gigantic. What the hell? Jacob says talking out of your neck. So here, I'm not joking on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're being serious with this gigantic butterfly. Hopefully it does not sneak into my bag and then reproduce in my hotel room leading to an infestation of butterflies in Amsterdam. Anyways, right here, like a few days, every single year, the Botanical Garden allows families to come with their little babies to take photos on those water lilies. They're among some of the biggest water lilies in the world, also the strongest, and they can withstand the weight of a small child. So there are photos that you can find online of little babies on the water lilies. It looks more like a moth. And now we're going to put it to the test and see if it can withstand my weight. Let's go. No, I'm joking. It's so cool. Oh, that's awesome. All right, little guy, want to come on over? Do you bite? Are you friendly? Are you friendly? Christine says, have a nice day. I gotta go work. Christine, no, don't go. Janice says, is this actually a camera? There are conspiracies, yeah, that say that insects are little drones. No, I don't think so. Sylvia says creepy. Yeah, huge eyes. Yeah, I think that is a moth. Yeah, that's not a butterfly. That's a huge moth that will eat up any clothes that you have in your house. So don't bring one home with you, ladies and gentlemen. Beads. Oh, in order to keep the moths in and the giant man-eating insects. That's very smart. Jacob says, yeah, it is a butterfly because the antennas don't have feathers. Oh, interesting. Oh, we gotta close the door fast before it escapes. Okay, good. Whew. All right, we have survived the greenhouse. I'm gonna leave you with this beautiful view of the canal right here. It is a gorgeous garden. Let me show you just this garden then. Memorial garden here. And my camera's dirty because of all the spewing of the giant man-eating insects. All right. Sylvia says, are we lost? No. Morgan says there was a very handsome caretaker moving away from the camera. Huh? Yeah, I noticed. Over 3,000 stars were sent today. Thank you, Kay. 3,000 stars divided by 100. It's about $30. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone sending stars. That was beautiful Leiden. Now I have to escape the botanical garden before I'm locked in and forced to sleep here overnight in the greenhouse because it's a bit too cold outside. So in order to avoid that fate, I'm going to hang out here amongst the horde of mosquitoes. Oh my God, how many mosquitoes are here? Uh-oh. Okay, I'm gonna move away and head out. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. This was beautiful Leiden. It's a great place to visit. Highly recommend it. Do the boat tour, go to the museums, check out the Rembrandt tour. You can get the self-walking guide at the tourist center. Tourist centers are usually right next to the train station in these major cities in the Netherlands, which is very useful. So I recommend them. And then otherwise than that, maybe a lot 2 days to come to Leiden if you really enjoy Rembrandt and your history. This is an awesome city. So far, my favorite city in the Netherlands outside of Amsterdam. So I do recommend Leiden. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring here in Leiden. Bye-bye. Dankjewel for everyone tuning in.